that cool? I don't know. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and I'm coming to you from Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is a podcast about knitting, a little bit of sewing, and the adventures the craft takes me on. I hope you had a good last week. As you may have noticed, I am recording a whole week earlier than I normally would have. And that is because I'm going out of town for the next 2 weekends. And I didn't want to go a whole month without uploading a podcast episode. This next weekend, my best friend's coming to town from Colorado. And we're going to drive up to Grand Marais, Minnesota, which is probably my favorite city in the whole state. It's right on the North Shore. We have a little Airbnb in town and it's gonna be super cute and fun. And then the following weekend, I have another bike race that I am taking part in. I'm not racing to compete, just to complete. Yeah, so it's 50 miles with a couple of my friends up in the Two Harbors area, and that should also be really fun because I think the leaves will start to be changing up north. So always a beautiful time. But yeah, I hope you had a great week. Let's get into some things. Alright, so I do have a couple finished objects this week. If you caught my last episode, you know that I began working on the Mary Hat ear flap, or is it Mary ear flap hat? It's a free pattern on Purl Soho. I was knitting these for my friend's kids, and I finished both of them. So here's the finished one that I showed you last week. It's super cute. So this is for a 5-year-old, I believe. She loves bright pink, so I thought these were great colors for her. The yarn that I used was Big Twist, 100% acrylic worsted weight yarn. You can get it at Joann Fabrics. And I held it triple, so 3 strands together, to create this chunky knit fabric. And I'm actually showing you the back of it. Here's the front. Yeah, like I talked about last episode, I was really pleased with how thick it came out. It's super soft and just perfect for kids because you know for sure it's not going to itch since it's acrylic, and you can just toss it right into the washer and dryer and it should be fine. I made a second one for her little boy, and this is the colors that I chose. So more of a green theme with this gray top, and again I used the Big Twist yarn for this one as well. I'm very happy with how they turned out. I definitely think these would make good gifts for people in the winter time because I knit each of these in a day, and I don't mean I made them in 24 hours because I took many breaks, so like a casual day I was able to get each one of these done. So I know that it can be stressful knitting up a bunch of gifts for people during certain times of year, and this is a good solution, especially for kids. And also, like, what cute gifts do these make? I'm probably gonna have to make some for my nieces and nephew this year if they like them. Yeah, that's all I have for any completed projects, but I have a lot of works in progress to show you this week. Alright, so the first work in progress I wanted to show you is something you've seen before if you're a returning viewer, but I've made quite a bit of progress on it. So this is the back of the Strandhus Pullover sorry, I always say that wrong. Strandhus Pullover by Veta Romanenkova for Woolfolk Yarn. And last time we chatted, I only had about this much done, but I had just completed the full back side this last week. So I'm very excited to continue working on this because it's starting to go a bit faster for me. I mentioned on my Instagram a few weeks ago that I had just discovered Norwegian Pearling thanks to Knitting Traditions. I was curious as to what that was, so I looked up a tutorial and I figured out how to do it, and it makes knitting and purling so much faster. And I feel like I'm really starting to fly through projects that require switching back and forth between the purling and knitting. So if you aren't doing Norwegian purling and you're a continental knitter, I highly recommend looking up a tutorial on how to do it. It also saves your hands a lot of fatigue and energy, so you can go for a lot longer without being in pain. But anyways, back to the sweater. I just want to show you this amazing cable working. I'm having so much fun doing it. What led me to choose this project was exactly that. I really wanted to work on something with a bit of cabling because I haven't done it in a while, and this has 3 different types of cables, so it's really satisfying that need. I am using Lion Brand's Fisherman's Wool for this. It is 80% acrylic. Excuse me, no, 90% wool, 7% acrylic, and 3% other. This is a yarn that I always looked at when I was a younger knitter, and it always intrigued me to work with. And so I figured, why not give it a try? Again, you can get this at any big box store like Joann's or Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And yeah, I'm very pleased with it. I do like the fabric that it's knitting out. I think if I were to do it all over again though, I would maybe want it to be 100% wool. I can definitely feel that acrylic in it a little bit, but that's fine. This is going to be primarily for Mitch, and I'm going to probably borrow it as well. And it'll be nice having a sweater that doesn't itch so much, because it is like slightly rustic feeling. I know it's not necessarily a rustic yarn, but it definitely kind of feels that way. So less itch, the better. All right, so my next work in progress is something you've seen quite a bit of lately, and that is my gravel hat. This isn't very far, so this is as far as I have on this particular one, but I just wanted to mention it again because I do have the pattern coming out this week on Wednesday the 15th. It'll be available on Ravelry and Etsy. And if you're watching this episode after the fact, I will link the pattern in the description below, so you can click on it and it'll bring you right to the pattern. I'm, again, very excited about it. This one, I am switching it up a little bit. Before, the hats I made had a marl defect, but I thought it would be cool to make a solid color one. There's still like quite a bit of variation in this because it's Brooklyn Tweed's Loft, and there's a bit of tweedy specks in it. I wonder if you can see it in this ball of yarn. Is it gonna focus? Please focus. No. Okay, well, that's fine. I go a little bit more in depth with it on my previous episode if you're interested. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to complete this one this week because I have to make another one after that for my best friend who's coming out, her boyfriend, and I want to have that done before she goes home so I don't have to ship it out to them. All right, I'm just gonna get a little sip of water. It's good to stay hydrated. Okay, good. All right, so my next work in progress, I am so excited to show you. I talked a little bit about it in my last episode. It is a design that I've been thinking up for just over a month now. I've been creating it for a while, and I'm just gonna go ahead and show you how far. It's a colorwork scarf. So here it is. It doesn't look like much right now. I'm just giving you all the angles of it, I guess. But I promise the pattern is gonna get even cooler as it progresses. I'm very happy with how this is turning out. I wrote up the chart for all of the color work probably about a month ago, and I've just been sitting and thinking about it, wondering if it's even going to work, and it is turning out how I intended it. This is a knit in the round Intarsia style knitting. So I'm using circular needles with the magic loop method. It's also a moss stitch, as you can probably tell, because I wanted to create a fabric that kind of reminded me of like Sherpa, or even almost like a rug, which might sound silly for wanting that in a scarf, but that's just the fabric that I wanted for it, and it's turning out nice. I like that it's the pattern on both sides, and the nice thing is all of the loose ends of yarn are just hidden within the middle here, so I don't even have to weave in any loose ends, which makes it even better because it is a bit tedious, but I'm really happy with how this is turning out, and I'm excited to show you how far I get in the next episode so you can really start to see the pattern that's taking shape, because I think it's really cool and I am excited to have it as a scarf. I realized that I don't have any scarves for myself that I knit, at least not anymore. So it's gonna be nice having something again. And all of these colors are in my wardrobe, so I know it's going to match with just about everything. I am using Wool and the Gang's Feeling Good alpaca yarn. And I think this one is a blend of I'm gonna put right here what the blend is because I just can't remember. But I talked quite in depth about this in my last episode, so I won't go too much, but I'm just obsessed with how soft this feels, super squishy, and it's really reflecting that in this scarf. It's so soft. I just can't get over it, but yeah, I love it. So what would be a podcast without any new yarn to show you, of course. So you saw in my intro that I went on a little adventure to buy some more yarn, and that is because I wanted to motivate myself to work on the Cafe Facet carpet coat that I have put off since March that I keep talking about, but I still haven't worked on it yet. So I thought it'd be fun to motivate myself by buying a few different more skeins of yarn for it. I was gonna need some more yarn anyways, and there was a couple colors in the cardigan that I didn't love, so my hope is to be able to replace it with this yarn. And if you're new here, this is a cardigan that I am going to start over using different size needles and adjusting the length of the cardigan a bit more. So I will show you this first one here. It's so beautiful. There's so many different colors in it, and I loved it because this cardigan itself has so many different colors in it. And actually, I can't remember what the brand was. Oh, well, it's Malabrigio, and that's why it's so beautiful. The Rasta, super bulky, 100% merino wool. It is so soft. I would have thought this is acrylic based on feeling it, but I'm gonna trust the tag. And this color is Diana. So, Diana. I got 2 other skeins of this same brand. What color was this one? Okay, so this one is this deep purple with a little bit of variegation in it. I am not much of a purple person, but this coat has a few different yarns in it that have some purple undertones, and I thought that it brought it out very nicely, and so I decided why not include some purple in it. And this color is Abril. Kind of like April, but with a B. And the third color that I got is more of this rust color. It's so beautiful, perfect for fall. And this color is Oxido. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. But the 3 colors together are so pretty, and I'm gonna kind of balance them throughout the coat, but I thought it'd be nice to have a little bit of consistency in the type of yarn that I use, because the yarns that I'm using are all over the place, and so it'll be nice to anchor them with just some solid, super chunky yarn. Yeah. So that's all the yarn that I have, but one other thing that I acquired this week, which I'm very excited about and kind of forgot that it was coming, is the new Lina periodical. And I'm sure just about every other podcast is talking about this. I was able to flip through it pretty quickly. I didn't really read much yet, but I love it. Fall is my favorite time of year, especially in fashion, so this was a very exciting one to receive. I'm going to show you a couple of my favorites. So this is the sweater that I really like. I'm not sure if you can tell the different patterns that are throughout, but this one is called Viburna, and it is designed by Fabian Gassman. And again, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing any names, but look how beautiful that detail is. I can definitely see myself making one of these just for a slightly more muted everyday sweater that can go with just about everything. I don't want to have too many like peacocking type sweaters, because it's good to have some staples that are a little bit more traditional, and yeah, it doesn't feel like you're wearing, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so the last one I'm going to show you in this is another one that I absolutely love, And this is not a color I would have ever have thought to work with, just because I would have thought it was just too bright. But how amazing is this? I am just obsessed with this color. And the way that they styled it with just, well, of course they styled it with the sweater that I liked, so that makes sense. But just that bright kind of aqua turquoise blue with the tan, I think is unexpected in the very best way. So I was really excited when I saw that. Again, there's a lot of awesome patterns in here. I highly recommend subscribing to this periodical. I personally get the subscription, so they just ship it right to my door every 3 months or so, or is it 4 months? But yeah, very exciting. So I'm very pleased to say that I actually have some sewing projects that are finished to show you. It feels like it's been a while since I've done any sewing, and that's because it's true. But my last episode, I talked about thrifting a couple flannels and my plans on what I was going to do with that. And one of them was to use the scraps to make scrunchies, because I keep losing all of mine and it'd be nice to just make my own instead of purchasing them. And I've never had a flannel scrunchie, which I thought is perfect for fall, but now I do because I just sewed one up and I am so happy with how it turned out. I'm not even kidding, this took 5 minutes to make, so this is definitely going to be a new hobby of mine. I already promised all of my friends that I'm going to make some for them with all of the scraps of fabric that I have, and it's just a perfect little quick accessory to make with scraps of fabric, and that way less of it will go into the trash. But how cute is that? And the next two projects, as you may know, I said I was gonna make some bandanas for my dogs this fall, and sure enough, I made some. So this one is for Marshall, my darker colored golden. And I was able to find tutorials for both the scrunchie and this bandana free on YouTube by the same woman, and I'll link them below because the episodes were just very easy to follow and quick to make, including these bandanas. I like how it's folded and so it's stretchy on the bias, and that allows like for me to tie it around his neck better, and he has room to move around in it. So yeah, this one's for Marshall, and then this one is for Kevin. And I am so excited because I can take my dogs for walks or special occasions and match them, because that is the type of dog owner that I am. I need to match my dogs. So yeah, I thought this one turned out super cute, very Northwoods flannel, which is exactly what I was going for, and it's gonna be perfect for them in the fall. So why don't we try it on? All right, okay, here we are. This is kind of hard to film because, well, they like to move around, but thankfully they're a little sleepy, yeah. So it's working out. But anyways, here's Marshall's bandana. Look how cute it looks on him. Marshall, you're a very handsome young man. And Kevin, oh yeah, let's sit. Kevin, can you sit? Can you sit up straight? Oh, Kevin, wow, look how handsome you are. There he is in his. Yeah, looking very nice in their new bandanas. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe to my channel below. And again, I will be talking to you in about 3 weeks from now. I hope you have a great rest of your September. Talk to you next time. Bye.